How's it going, lads? So, Chelsea 2, Newcastle 0, the exact same as when we played earlier at St James's Park. And the Chelsea performance was decent here. It was pretty good. But my issue is that even though we controlled the game really well, we just didn't go for the kill. I mean, yes, a second goal is a cushion. But I mean, if Newcastle had gotten one back with 10-15 minutes to go, we're under all sorts of pressure. This is a game we controlled to the point that we could have been 3, if not maybe 4 goals up, but we just didn't go to really try and create those chances, really put them to the sword, and obviously it didn't cost us in the end. Our defence stood firm. Newcastle didn't offer a whole lot. I mean, threatening the big teams is something they've really struggled with this season. It's one of the main reasons that they're down the bottom where they are, because they just don't seem to have much belief in themselves when it comes to playing the teams in the top half of the table. But anyway, let's try and talk about the positives in this one only and get into the player ratings. Kepa Arrizabalaga, 7 out of 10, and I'll admit there was a time where I wasn't sure if I'd ever be mentioning Kepa in one of these videos again. He got the start a few days ago against Barnsley, kept a clean sheet there, earned himself a start in this one, and to be honest, he didn't do anything wrong and he did quite a few things right. First half, he wasn't troubled at all, let's be real, but in the second half, there were a few instances. There was a Shelvey free kick that he did well to hold on to, made a very decent save against Willock. There was a moment with maybe 10 minutes left where he made a punch on a cross, didn't get the best of contacts on it, but it came to nothing, and overall this was a really solid performance from Kepa in goal, but he only gets a 7 because he just wasn't tested enough. Callum Hudson-Odoi, 7 out of 10. Callum was playing in the right wing back role again, and he was pretty much camped just outside the Newcastle box all game long until he was subbed off for Reece James. My issue with this performance here was the lack of end product. He's playing on the right flank, he's using his weaker right foot quite a bit, and to be fair to him, he's willing to use it, and I give him credit for that. But the cutting edge just wasn't always there, whether he's going for a cross or a shot. It just didn't really look decisive from him. There was a lot of hit and hope from what I could see. Didn't come off for him on any occasions, which is what is giving him a very, respectable 7, but holding him back from a really decent score in this one. Cesar Azpilicueta, 8 out of 10. Azpilicueta in this new lineup by Tuchel has a strange role. He's like the third centre back, but he has a free roaming role in the team because often he'll find himself like outside the 18-yard box of the opponent, or maybe out wide for a cross if Callum Hudson-Odoi is tucked in. And to be fair, he uses that role quite well because he does pop up in important positions to retain possession or, add something extra to the attack. Put in a couple of decent crosses, and this one was unlucky, I would say, not to get himself in the score sheet. He had a header early on that was cleared off the line by a Newcastle defender. I don't think Kyle Darlow was going to get there. And, talking as an out-and-out defender, he made a few decent tackles as well, few good aerial challenges in our own box in the last few minutes when Newcastle looked to threaten a little bit. And yeah, really good performance from the captain here. Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen. I'm just going to give the two of them a 7 out of 10 here because, in all honesty, neither of them were tested too much by the Newcastle attack, and every question that they were asked, they answered comfortably enough. No need to really get too specific about anything that either of them did because they didn't do anything spectacular, but they played their part in what was an overall decent performance by the Chelsea team, and they both get their 7 out of 10. Marcos Alonso, 7 out of 10, and I don't know if Alonso has like a load of leftover energy from spending so much time on the bench under Lampard, but he was just able to bomb up and down the left wing again and again and again and again. He absolutely bombarded the Newcastle defence with his overlapping runs, his going to the byline, pulling it back, putting it across, whipped in some really dangerous balls, and this one was unlucky not to get an assist to his name. He also had a decent enough shot. I think it was our first shot of the game in the first few minutes. Tried to shoot across the keeper, got a little bit off, didn't quite go as far to the goalkeeper's left as he would have liked. But of course, a good save out of him, kind of set the tone for how the match was going to go with Chelsea on the front foot pretty much throughout the entire thing. And yeah, our attacks were sustained quite well by Alonso on that left flank. Jorginho, 8 out of 10. Jorginho is thriving under Tuchel. I mean, it would take something special to keep N'Golo Kante out of any team, and if I'm being honest, Jorginho is putting in that something special right now because he's just being so disciplined, staying in the centre circle at pretty much all times, doesn't ever venture more than a few metres away from it, going towards the opposition goal, puts in his defensive duties, just spent all game long picking out the right pass again and again and again. And it was really good to see, because a lot of what we've seen in the past from Jorginho is getting the ball, having a look around, passing it sideways, backwards, just keeping the possession. And yes, in this new formation, it's still based around keeping the possession. But in this game, he looked to just use it, always be using it, making Newcastle work to actually press him, press the person he's passing to, and then boom, he's played the forward pass after lulling them in, caught them out on numerous occasions. It was a really good performance from Mourinho in this one, and hopefully he keeps it up. Mateo Kovich, 7 out of 10. The commentators in this one mentioned that I think he scored like 2 goals in 125 appearances, which is absolutely diabolical from a box-to-box midfielder, and he did show on a couple of occasions in this game why he's not a goal scorer. He blazed a couple over the bar, but I've said it in previous videos, that's just not his game. And what is his game is picking up the ball, driving at the opposition midfield and defence, picking the good pass. He did it to brilliant effect again and again and again. I've said again and again and again quite a few times in this video. Oh well, carrying on. There was a few defence splitting passes that he played. One on the reverse, no look pass basically over to Alonso to start a really good attack. I think that led to a goal at some point, or maybe the goal was a minute or so later. Anyway, point being, Kovacic performed his role in the team to a point in this one. Just nothing spectacular, but just keeping the attacks flowing. And I mean, like I said with Jorginho, the two of them are keeping Kante out of the team, and as long as they keep performing as well as they are, it's just hard to see him getting back into it anytime soon. Mason Mount, 6 out of 10, and this was probably the most subdued I've seen Mason play in quite a while. One of his more quiet performances of the season. That being said, he didn't do anything wrong, really. There was still a few instances where I saw him working tirelessly to put the pressure on after we lost the ball, and he doesn't give it away very much. But Mason Mount, he's kind of the talisman of the team at the moment. He's the one that you're looking to split the defence, to take a shot on. And there just wasn't much of that from him in this one. I don't know why he didn't get into the game as much as we usually see him, considering how dominant we were. But I'm sure it was just a small blip in this one, and he'll be back to it in the next game. Timo Werner, 9 out of 10, and for the opening goal, he put the ball into the box. I don't think it counts as an assist for him, because it took a touch off the goalkeeper before landing at the feet of Giroud, who was able to, smash it home from an easy distance. But it was still made by Timo on that occasion. And then his own goal, okay, when you hear about a striker having a bad run of form, all you need is for something to just land at his feet, hit him in the face and go in. It doesn't matter. And it wasn't quite that comical for his goal in this game, but it was still quite a farcical goal. Bounces around a little bit from a corner, lands at his feet. He's able to sweep it home. Carl Darlow does his best to save it. It's already over the line. Timo goes and celebrates, and that is his duct broken. But honestly, the 9 out of 10 isn't even just for those two moments. It's for the whole performance, because he threatened constantly in this match. He was a real thorn in the Newcastle side. It was pretty much the same actually as the reverse fixture, where he was the one that unlocked the defence on numerous occasions. Couldn't quite find the end product himself on a lot of those instances, and it was the same today. There were a few chances that maybe a more confident Timo Werner scores, but still, he played his part in this one. He also worked back quite tirelessly, something he's really improved upon doing under Tuchel. Maybe it's just the fact that him and Lampard weren't getting on. He wasn't willing to do it for him. Is willing to do it for Tuchel, which, as a fan, that's all I want to see from him. If the goals aren't happening, at least make your performance worthy of being on the pitch. He got both right in this game, and he gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Olivier Giroud, 7 out of 10, and he came on midway through the first half to replace an injured Tammy Abraham, made his 100th appearance off the bench in the Premier League, which is quite a crazy number. But he is known as one of the most, influential super subs that the Premier League's ever seen. He proved it again today. He comes on, and not too long later gets the goal to put Chelsea in front. Classic striker's goal. He just finds himself in the right place in the box at the right time to sweep home into a relatively empty net. Not the hardest goal he's ever scored, but they all count the same. He won't be complaining. I won't be complaining. Good performance here from Giroud. On top of that, his hold-up play looked a lot better than it has in recent matches. And with Tammy Abraham injured, we're going to need him playing at his best. So this is a good start. Anyway, lads, that's it for this one. Would like to give a quick shout out to my buddy Marcin, who asked for a shout out on the channel. So here it is, March. I hope you see it. And yeah, comment below whether you agree, disagree with my ratings. Like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more footy chats, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.